I did the server slam this weekend as well. For
Really?
Marathon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And man, this game, I don't feel like it knows if it's coming or going. Okay. And not that the gunplay wasn't good, not that the maps weren't interesting, but it felt like there was a lot of wasted time in each match that I played. I probably played about 2 hours, and it didn't feel like Halo where it was like, because when you play a game, it just feels right, and never felt right to me. The tutorial didn't feel right. It felt like a lackluster version of Apex Legends. And I was just like, is this me? And I've seen more and more people say this, but it just doesn't hit, Derek, like at all. Like I literally was like playing through like different aspects of the game. And of course I use the healer class. That's my favorite to use.
Right.
And it felt like and even when I wasn't playing as a healer, I felt like my character was like paper thin.
So like no shields or anything like that?
Yeah. And you'll be walking for a long time and it feels like you're just walking around nothing. A lot of the times in the game from what I experienced. And dude, it does not explain hardly anything of what is actually going on in the world, why you should care. Everything seems confusing. The leveling up is confusing. You even have like factions that you can join in all of this. And I'm like, what in the world is going on?
So it's like Destiny 1 all over again is what you're really saying.
Even worse, dude. Even worse than Destiny 1.
Because at least Destiny had a level progression system until like, was it level 20 or something? And then it was like, all right, now your leveling up is based on your armor that you get. I'm like, great.
Yeah, and dude, it was just one of those things the whole time I was like, should I put any more time into this? And I don't think for anyone that is like, oh, I want to play a game that is going to enthrall me, this is not it. Like, yes, Bungie is the studio that created Halo and created Destiny, but this is neither of those franchises.
And okay, they created Destiny, but it is a far cry from what it was, when Halo was back in its heyday.
Yeah.
And a lot of those people that created that are no longer with Bungie. Yeah. We're no longer with them when they created Destiny, for the most part. And I don't know, man. I've seen the writing on the wall for a very long time that Bungie has, been a shell of its former self, and not even with all the in-office politics, with that weird creator that is like, hey, don't worry about creating this. Look at my car collection.
Yeah.
So it's just like, okay. There's definitely some weird, strange people working there now, and I think this is reflecting on their art and like how they were wanting to create games. And again, we'll get to it. That's one of our last news articles of the show, but I don't know if they'll go the way of Concord Studio, but it definitely will. The game will not, have as long of a lifespan. And we've talked about, that's been kind of our prediction is like maybe a month or so in that Marathon will be, dead.
Yeah, I think, and especially because this is a paid game, this is not a free to play game like High Guard was, or, Concord was also paid.
I'm about to say same price as Concord, $40 for the Founders Edition.
Yeah. And I think the reason why Helldivers 2 did so well is because you could understand it from the get-go. You knew it was going to be this tongue-in-cheek, over like hyperalized propaganda kind of game, but you for democracy, you understood what you were getting into, even if you didn't play Helldivers 1. But this game, I'm like, I don't know what's going on. The tutorial was confusing enough. And it's like, oh, well, you got to like manage your health and you got to manage your shield. And I'm like, okay, I understand that. It's kind of like Arc Raiders or, even any of the other stuff, plates and Call of Duty and all of that. But dude, it just felt like there was so much stuff that I felt like I was juggling to try to understand. And I like the art style, the color palette, but it felt like there was so much information getting just like shot into my eyes that it was hard to pay attention what was going on.
It was like reading the culling game rules and when you're watching subbed in JJK.
Yes. Don't get Amy started on that. Do not get Amy started on that. But dude, I feel sad because it's like, this is another Jim Ryan decision and we're about to see the repercussions of that. And also it's like, I know that that they were talking about, I think today, might have been yesterday, we're going to talk about it here in a minute, actually, about some more decisions with some things with Jim Ryan. But dude, I'm very scared for Bungie. I'm scared for all the people that are on that team. I don't want anyone to lose their jobs. I want it to be successful, but Derek, I don't see how this game is going to be successful.
No, I don't see it either, man. And unfortunately, like we said, it's another bad decision, a bad product of Jim Ryan, like him forcing this live service thing. And again, obviously Concord was a failure. High Guard is pretty much now closing its doors, essentially. We'll talk more about that later in the show. If this is, on life support already, it seems like maybe, who knows, maybe it's just not a game for you, and maybe it finds its audience that sustains it for a very long time. Who knows? I hope that, because that would result in people not losing their jobs. But if this fails, then it's like, all right, what about Fair Games and Jade Raymond's studio? Like that, we've already speculated that game probably won't see the light of day at this point. But if Marathon fails, then Fair Games is definitely already going to be talked about as the game that's going to be just, it's like, just axe it. We don't care if you're about ready to launch or you still need another year or two in development. Just kill it.
Well, and my thought on this is PlayStation needs to stop making multiplayer games.
Correct.
Completely.
That is not their wheelhouse.
Yeah. And it's like, we still are getting 2 Horizon, which makes no sense to me. We're getting 2 Horizon multiplayer games, one that's not even on the PlayStation.
No.
There's a lot of bad decisions going on, and they're trying to ride the ship and everything. But I wanted to try Marathon out just because I have loved Bungie for so long, and it was like, okay, the gunplay feels pretty good, the movement feels good, but everything else about that game, I was just like,
that's where the good stops.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay, this is not it, Chief. This is not it.
Right.